It's been a while since I've done a sit-down video, and so it takes me a little bit of getting used to getting back into just talking to myself in this camera. But I wanted to document all of this. It's nice to do so because with Nathan, I didn't get to really vlog until he was a little older. He was still a baby, but still. And with Niall, I got to capture a lot more. And it's nice going back to those memories and getting to share some of those things with them, and they see them and they love it. So I want to do the same. And so the obvious news, because by the time I post this, I will probably be at home from my hospital stay. So it's obvious. I'm pretty sure I've already made the announcement publicly. I was expecting a third child. Currently still expecting, since this is being recorded in the past. Like I said, I wanted to capture all of this, but I'm not going to post this until I think it's the right time for myself. The reason why I wanted to keep this one more to myself and not record it or put it really out there like I did with Niall. I captured like every step of the way and it was awesome. I'm not saying I'm not doing the same, just a little different. The year 2023, personally, I think was a pretty rough year. I mean, obviously it had its good times, but there were a lot of bads, like really, really low points in my life, and it affected my family too. And so, I don't know, I kind of just wanted this one to myself, you know, this little hope and joy that I carried. I wanted to just kind of keep this to myself and not really put myself in a spot where I had to feel uncomfortable. Or like, here's another thing. I'm not doing a baby shower for this baby. It's just a lot of stress, a lot of planning, a lot of money to really have it the way that I would want. There was a time where I thought, you know, maybe it would be nice to do one. But then I have the pressure of, if I wanted to make it like an intimate baby shower, only like a small group, people would get offended, people would get upset, like, why didn't you invite so-and-so? Why didn't you invite this person? Oh, I didn't get invited, blah, blah. You know, and I was not up for that. I just, you know what? I want to keep this all to myself. You know, I'd rather just do something else. So that'll come further on. Previously, when we lived, and that was like the beginning of this year, yeah, pretty much, we were still living in that shitty place. No other words to describe it. It was horrible. Thankful we lived there for a bit, but it was probably one of the worst places we ever lived for a temporary place. But we spent all winter there and it was like really horrible. We're just coming up our winter months here. It's currently November. The kids were uncomfortable. All of our stuff was put in storage. We were limited to space. We were all sharing one room to try to save money and try to get ahead really fast, but just wasn't the way to do it. It was just affecting us all, especially the kids, but also a lot of other things. And it was not the best time. Even our health, mainly myself and the kids. The kids were worse, but there was multiple ER visits because at the time we didn't really know, but there was mold in that place and it was affecting the kids badly, so bad, with their breathing and ear infections and just getting sick often. And like, no doubt there was mold in that place. I mean, there was a lot of proof that there was mold in that place. There still is. The boiler fell through. We didn't have water. We didn't have electricity sometimes. It was just, and we didn't really have a place to stay, and we were still paying for our rent there. So it was just, oh, it was horrible. And I say, yeah, there was definitely mold because we come here to our new rental house, the best place, even though it's the most expensive, but it's the best place we've ever lived in my opinion. And the kids are fine. I'm fine. Like, we get sick, but it's not like, it's like, oh, a cold for like 2 days and we're good. You know what I mean? And we haven't been sick, knock on wood, but like, we've been doing so much more better here. No more laundry mats, no more sharing anything, you know, it's perfect. Even though we're renting another place and we hope to stop doing that, you know, we want to stop being in this like hamster wheel. We're just gonna have to be here, but we're working towards paying things off. That's like the main thing, and I'm sure it's not gonna take long. It's just kind of where we're at right now, but we've progressed so much from where we came from. From the beginning of this year, 2023, that was kind of the situation. We finally moved into this place and it helped, but we still had issues. Like there was still problems, not with the place itself, just like working on ourselves, you know, just focusing on our family, focusing on our kids, and just kind of getting into that cycle again. We were just kind of thrown off for a loop because, you know, our family was kind of divided in a way where Jose had gone on that fishing trip, and then it was just me and the kids for a good minute, and then I was living with family, and then he was out on the property, and then we were trying to get back into some sort of living situation where we lived together. But it was just like trying to find a place, and it was a mess. 2023 was like, holy crap. And now we're just barely coming down that roller coaster and just settling at a good pace. As 2023 is kind of doing this to us, kind of being all over the place. And then we lived in a hotel for like 3 weeks or so because this place was being cleaned and we can't really live. Not our contract, but our agreement ended in the other place, and we didn't want to like live more time there because it was shitty. We really didn't have a place to stay because this place was getting cleaned up, and we had to go to a hotel. So that was another situation. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the best either. The property was just kind of put on hold, not forgotten, just put on hold because we're like, there's nothing for us to do up there until we get things straightened out. So going with this whole story, you can see as to how this surprise hit us, where we weren't expecting it. A blessing in disguise. It's just being the truth. Like you want specific times for these kiddos to be born where you're all like in a better spot and just being able to provide better for them. But sometimes things don't work like that, and they just kind of like, this is when we're gonna show up. And yeah, it's insane how it happened, because I'm not gonna share details, but even the doctor himself, when I was talking to him about it, was just kind of like, there's a very small percentage, but there's still that percentage, and it happened. June comes along and I am very organized. Like, I know when my cycle's coming. So when I noticed days were going by and I was like, it's not hitting me. I mainly thought maybe I could be sick. I thought, honestly, it was stress that was really making my cycle get kind of wonky or something. I was happy and nervous at the same time. Nervous because, again, we're just settling. We were trying to figure out where to take things, and yeah, it was just a lot at the time. And we both kept that for a very long time, that secret to ourselves for a very long time, where it was just the both of us that knew, nobody else. Yeah, so with time we told our parents, so we're the first ones, and then they kept it a secret until we told siblings, and then after the siblings, then it was like cousins, aunts and uncles and such, and then it just kind of ended there. We told Nathan and Niall as well, so I'll have to share that later on, but it was a pretty funny way that they reacted. Another thing that made me nervous was, no matter what, I was like, this is gonna be my last kiddo. 3 kids is enough for me. I'm currently 28. For myself, I was like, I don't want to have kids after my 30s. So my due date is March 16th. I'm gonna start wrapping up this video and kind of end it around here, where I just wanted to share those thoughts. Just gives you more strength to continue on and keep pushing forward. We plan to stay here until we pay more things off, and thankfully we see that happening. It's such a good feeling to be like, okay, I'm done. Boom, close that account. Don't have to see it, don't have to open it. We don't need it. It's gone. So that's the main focus, and then just focusing on my little family, enjoying being able to live, maybe in, continue to live here in town, and being able to like walk to places is also nice. And especially during the winter months, just enjoy not having to deal with the whirlwind that awaits us at the very top of that mountain. So let's just count our blessings, right? The last thing I wanted to show, because I have not really documented any of this, I've taken photos. I don't plan to take maternity photos, but I've taken photos during the time that I've been pregnant. So I conceived around June, and again, I'm due in March. So currently I am 5 months and 2 weeks. So I need 2 more weeks to be 6 months. And I put on this really tight shirt so you can kind of see the progress or the growth. So this is the belly. Look at that. And I already know what I'm having and everything. So I'm not going to share that in this video either. Name, everything. We're all done. It's all set. Like I said, while I'm posting this video, I already made an announcement to the public, and baby's in my arms currently, I'm sure. A lot of things in our future, and it's all good stuff. Just focus on the positive and we'll get there eventually. So that's all I want to say.